Hi friends, welcome to IS with Santosh. In this session, I'm going to cover weekly PIB between June 14 to June 20 for UPSC Prelims 2027. Guys, in 2026 Prelims examination, you must have observed that most of the current affairs questions were from the PIB. So I have started an important initiative as part of my Prelims mentorship for 2027. Every week on Sunday, I'm giving you a PIB synopsis of the entire week where I'm covering important articles from the prelims perspective which came throughout the week, and also I'm giving you a PIB quiz which has top 20 questions from PIB for the entire week. So please follow this initiative. Guys, my name is Santosh Pandey. I have cracked UPSC prelims examination 6 out of 6 times with very high scores. So let us start. The very first topic is on defense production and export. Guys, defense production has soared to 1.78 lakh crore for the financial year 25-26. Guys, if you see in the last 5 years, government focus is on indigenization of defense. You know, guys, India is one of the largest purchaser of defense equipments, and government wants to indigenize the defense production for strategic autonomy. Okay, so in this context, you can see the annual production has reached a record level of 1.78 lakh crore, which is 15% growth. Also, guys, you can see here our exports have also reached a record number of 38,000 crores. So guys, here what you need to focus is defense export. Please focus on defense exports. Here, let me ask you a question. Okay, recently government of India has decided to export BrahMos missile. Okay, to which country? Let me see how many of you can answer this. Okay, in coming years, definitely you can expect a question on BrahMos missile. Also, guys, government of India has also been negotiating for export of Pinaka missiles. Okay, Pinaka missiles. Okay, so I am giving this assignment. Let me see how many of you can, okay, answer this in the comment box. If you do not know, please do research and take note of it. This is very, very important. Here you need to remember a very important fact, that out of this defense production which is happening in India, 76% of the output is coming from defense PSUs. This is a very important fact which can be used for framing questions. 24% is coming from private sector. So you can see here the share of private sector, which was 22% in 2024-2025, has increased to 24%. So steadily the share of private sector is increasing. Okay, so please look at all the defense PSUs like HAL, Bharat Electronics, Bharat Dynamics Limited, Majgaon Docks, Garden Reach Shipbuilders. Okay, so all these defense PSUs are very important. Here you should also know that defense FDI, okay, FDI in defense has been increased to 74% under automatic route. Okay, so under automatic route, 74 up to 74% of FDI is allowed. Again, here take note, automatic route. In automatic route, 74% FDI is allowed. So this can be used to frame questions. Also, you should know IDX. Okay, scheme. IDX scheme is basically a defense production scheme, and government of India is also building defense corridors. This defense corridor is coming in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. So this can also be a question which can be asked in coming examination. So defense export, defense production can be a very important theme. You know, guys, in recent years, one trend you analyze, that questions are coming which are fact based questions. So you can see that they can give a question on this fact. This fact is really very important, that what is the share of defense PSUs and what is the share of private sector. Okay, let's move on, guys. Next, there was a detailed article on defense decade. This was a very important article. In this article, a lot of important defense equipments were mentioned. I'm going to just give you few example of it. Okay, before that, guys, you should know there is a very important body which is called Defense Acquisition Council. Okay, Defense Acquisition Council. So let me see how many of you can answer. Defense Acquisition Council headed by whom? Okay, so you can see here in the last 10 years, the defense capital expenditure has increased. You can see here the defense budget has increased. You can see the budget allocation for defense R&D has also increased. This has increased 100%. This has increased 3 times, and there is also a very good increase of 100%. Okay. Now you can see defense milestones, okay, in the last 10 years. From this, definitely in next year you can expect a question. various defense equipments have been mentioned here. So what I have done is that I have created a flashcard on this. You can see here Akash, which is a short to medium range surface to air missile. Then we have Tejas, which is India's first indigenous light combat aircraft, which is next is Mission Shakti, which is an anti-satellite missile test. Then we have Rafale, which is a fighter jet. Then we have Rudram, indigenous anti-radiation missile. Then we have S-400, which is an advanced air defense missile system with a range of 400 kilometers. Then we have Helena Dhruvastra, which is an anti-tank guided missile, which is basically uh, launched from helicopters. Then we have INS Vikrant, which is an indigenous aircraft carrier. We have LCH Prachand, which is a light combat helicopter. Then we have BrahMos supersonic cruise missile. Then we have INS Agrigat. Arigat is basically India's second nuclear submarine. Then we have, you can see here, Mission Divyastra, which is basically based on MIRV, multiple independent targetable re-entry vehicle capability. And last we have INS Vakshir, which is a Scorpion class submarine. Okay, so all these defense equipments are very, very important for prelims 2027. Guys, like this, lot of important stuff comes in the PIB. And I am collecting all this and I'm giving you. So if you are preparing for 2027, I would highly recommend every one of you to follow my prelims 2027 batch, which is Lakshya batch. In this Lakshya batch, I'm giving you weekly PDF notes of the PIB, and also I'm giving you 20 most important questions. You can contact my team on this number if you want my guidance. You can also go to my website and you can check out how many questions have come even in 2026 prelims examination, which is considered to be the toughest paper, unpredictable paper. But even in this paper, many questions I had predicted, exactly these questions have come in the exam. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So you can see all this. Okay, some facts are mentioned which can be used. You can see they can frame this question: defense production has been steadily increasing. It will be correct statement, because you can see how it steadily defense production is increasing. Okay, so next you can see they have mentioned how India's defense partnership with America, then European Union, then with Russia, then with France. Here just few important stuff I will just highlight here. We have a logistical exchange memorandum agreement which is called LIMOA with America in 2016. Then we have a communications capability security agreement called COMCASA with America in 2018. Then we have the basic exchange and cooperation agreement, which is called BECA agreement with USA. So these three are very important agreement which India has signed with America. Why these three agreements are important? Because recently India has signed a similar logistical agreement with Russia also. Okay, therefore this topic becomes very important. Also guys, India has been designated as a major defense partner by USA, so this is also very important. Also guys, we have one organization which is called Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technology, ISET, okay, which is between India and US, which was launched in 2023, basically for the strategic technology. Okay, so this is very important. Next, with Russia, guys, S-400 air defense system, this is very important. Then Sukhoi aircraft fighter. Okay, then exercise Indra, India Russia exercise Indra, this is very important. Then India EU, then India France. In India France, guys, you can see Scorpion submarine, Rafale, okay, which is a very important aircraft. I think it's a 4.5 generation aircraft. Okay, then uh, like this kind of questions may come. Okay, so these are the very important facts, because if you see recently UPSC is moving towards such kind of fact based questions, and they're asking cooperation between India and some countries in international relation type of questions in prelims they are asking. Okay, so you can see India Japan. Okay, here the exercise GMEX, then India UAE, then India Australia, then SEO, ASEAN, and Quad. Okay, so you can go through some of the details. Okay, so important one I'm highlighting. Next, guys, okay, a very important, okay, Operation Drishti was carried out in Jharkhand. It is basically a eye surgical camp. It is basically an eye surgical camp. So Operation Drishti, which is a flagship outreach program by Armed Forces Medical Services, which was conducted recently in Jharkhand. So Operation Drishti. Operations are sometimes in news, and in 2023 UPSC has asked questions on operations. So operations by military forces in India, okay, are asked recently in the prelims examination. If you see 2024 UPSC prelims question, if you see CDS question, okay, so operation Drishti, you please take note of it. This is very important. Next, you can see here new series of WPI and PPI. So guys, Government of India has released the new series of WPI and the new series of PPI. Okay, so in this context, guys, you should know what is the difference between WPI and PPI. You know that Government of India has decided to move completely to PPI in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, we will completely move to PPI. Okay, so you can see here Department of Industry. Okay, Office of Economic Advisor has released a revised WPI series with the new base year of 2022-2023. So we are replacing the old base, which is 2021, 2012 to 2022-2023. So base year is very important. Base year is that year which is used for calculation of the any data. Okay, so for inflation we have base year, for GDP we have base year. Okay, so this is very important. So they what is the changes which we have made in this new series of WPI? You can see here in the new series of WPI, the number of items in the basket have increased from 697 to 957. Okay, new energy inclusion like solar, wind, nuclear, and electricity has been added. So there are a lot of changes which have been made as far as WPI is concerned. Okay, so you can see one thing, that they may also ask you what is the difference between WPI and PPI. You can see WPI will continue for 5 years alongside the PPI, and later on WPI will be discontinued and we will have only PPI. Okay, so PPI is very important because most of the major countries, most of the developed countries, they use PPI. Okay, so here you can see the difference between PPI and wholesale price index. Okay, what is the difference? You can see here PPI captures the price changes of the bulk transactions and it includes taxes, whereas whereas PPI measures changes in the prices by the producers and excludes indirect taxes. Okay, so this is a basic difference between WPI, which basically tracks, okay, bulk, okay, transactions, whereas PPI tracks the prices received at the producer's end and it excludes the indirect taxes. Weight of an item in WPI is based on net traded value, whereas in PPI weight is derived from supply use table. PPI removes multiple counting bias inherent in WPI. PPI, okay, covers both services and goods, whereas WPI only covers goods. It does not cover services. So this is a very important difference between PPI and WPI, which is WPI only goods, whereas PPI we have both goods and services. Okay, so I think you can expect a question on PPI in next year prelims examination. Okay, PPI, what is PPI, why we are moving towards PPI? So PPI is kind of a better GDP deflator. PPI can give you a better GDP deflator. It can remove those inherent biases which are there in the WPI, and it also does not uh, lead to double counting. Okay, so this is very important. Now, GEM portal. Okay, so I'll just highlight the importance of GEM portal. GEM portal basically it functions under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and it is India's national procurement portal. So any procurement which happens in the government happens through the GEM portal. Okay, so remember the ministry under which it is there. Okay, so you can see GEM was started in the year 2016 and it is structured as a 100% government owned not for profit company. So section 8 of the Companies Act, okay, for online procurement of goods and services by central and state ministries, departments, and PSUs and autonomous bodies. So all autonomous bodies, PSUs, whatever thing they require for running their day-to-day work like computers or tables or chairs, anything, they will purchase through the GM portal. It will improve the transparency and accountability. Okay, so please prepare what is GM portal, it is under which ministry? So Ministry of Commerce, and it is was created in 2016 and it is a company format, okay, which is not for profit company. Next you can see, okay, Prime Minister's participates in the Bharat Innovates 2016. So guys, recently in Nice, which is in France, first Bharat Innovates program was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister. So this Bharat Innovates is a national program by Ministry of Education, Government of India. It is designated as a global accelerator for innovations from Indian higher educational institutes, thereby building a long-term collaboration bridge between India's innovation system with the world. Okay, so this is a very important topic you can expect next year in the prelims examination. So there are some fine details of it which you can go through in my notes. I'm not going into the finer details. Okay, you can go through if you have access to my notes. The notes I have already uploaded in the dashboard. So you can see here weekly PIB notes and weekly PIB quiz. So I have started from June after the prelims examination. You can see week 1 quiz, week 1 notes, week 2 quiz, week 2 notes, week 3 quiz, week 3 notes. Okay, so go through this. You will get the entire compilation of the topics and you will have some more topics. Here I'm only discussing very important topics. Okay, and this is part of our prelims mentorship batch. Okay, you can contact this number if you need this batch. Also, guys, you can check out this file. Here I have shown how many questions have come from my test series in 2026 prelims examination. Many people are calling 2026 as very unpredictable and very tough, but even in this unpredictable prelims examination, some of the questions directly came from our test series and I was able to predict them. You can have a look at it. Next topic, guys, global wind day. Okay, so guys, wind energy, guys, recently you see in the last 10-15 years the focus of government is on renewable resources, renewable energy. Why? Because we are aiming to achieve net zero by 2070. Okay, so global wind day is celebrated on June 15. Okay, so sometimes they are asking days also. So June 15 is global wind day and India will host Global Wind Day conference under wind energy from ambition to acceleration. Okay, so the conference will be having representatives from Central Electricity Authority, Solar Energy Corporation, etc., etc. You can go through it. Here you can see National Institute of Wind Energy. So please prepare where it is located. National Institute of Wind Energy. Let me see how many of you can answer where this institute is located. So as far as wind resource potential of India is concerned, you can see India's estimated gross wind potential is 695 gigawatt at 120 meters and 1163 gigawatt at 150 meters above the ground. Majority of the assessed wind potential at 150 meter is concentrated in 8 states. We have Rajasthan, we have Gujarat, we have Maharashtra, then we have Karnataka, we have Andhra Pradesh, we have Tamil Nadu, we have Madhya Pradesh, we have Telangana. Okay, so maximum wind potential at 150 meter is in Rajasthan. Then we have in Gujarat, then we have in Maharashtra, then we have in Karnataka, then we have in Andhra Pradesh, and then Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, and Telangana. Okay, so this chronology also you can remember. So if you see here, we are aiming to achieve 100 gigawatt wind capacity by 2030 and 156 gigawatt by 2036. India ranks fourth in terms of wind power installed capacity. So this is an important fact which can be used to frame questions. India's rank is fourth. So you can see these are the schemes which government of India has launched in order to encourage the wind energy, which is not that important. Now, Vikas bhi Virasat bhi. So in this article in the PIB, they have covered all the important schemes and institutions and developments regarding art and culture. Guys, every year art and culture questions you will definitely get in the prelims examination. And this article has each and every dimension of art and culture of India in the last 1 or 2 years, whatever schemes have come. So please do read this in my PIB notes. I have covered this in detail. You can see here a lot of schemes they have mentioned like Gyan Bharatam, National Mission on Monument and Antiques, Vedic Heritage Portal, Prasad Scheme, Hirday Scheme. India's UNESCO sites have increased from 31 to 44 in the last 10 years. Then intangible heritage recognition to yoga, Kumbh Mela, Durga Puja, okay, Garba, etc., etc. So you can see here they have mentioned some of the schemes. For example, adopt a heritage scheme, which is a scheme where the private companies are asked to adopt a heritage under the corporate social responsibility. Next, we have a Prasad scheme. Prasad scheme basically stands for Pilgrimage Rejuvenation Spiritual Heritage Augmentation Drive. It's a central sector scheme launched by Ministry of Tourism to develop pilgrimage and heritage tourism infrastructure. Okay. Next, we have Swadesh Darshan scheme, which is a flagship scheme for developing tourist circuits. Next, we have, you can see here, Archaeological Survey of India. This is a premier body for archaeological conservation in India, which was established in the year 1861 and by Alexander Cunningham, who was the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India. So please prepare this personality. This is given in the NCERT also. Alexander Cunningham. This is very, very important. Very, very important personality. Definitely in coming years, you can expect a question on this personality. Okay. Then we have National Mission on Monuments and Antiques. Then we have Hriday Scheme. Hriday Scheme is a central sector schemes for urban infrastructure development with heritage conservation for cities like Ajmer, Amravati, Badami, Amritsar, Gaya, Varanasi, Warangal, Puri, Kanchipuram, Mathura, Velankani, and Dwarka. Guys, these cities are really very, very important because these cities are what? Cultural cities. Okay. So in Hriday scheme, they are developing the heritage and urban infrastructure in these cities. You know, guys, Badami is very, very important. It is in Karnataka. Okay, so I would like to give you map work. You know, this year they have asked about Amravati. Amravati Stupa. This came in the prelims examination. You can see there is a logic. See, many people say that UPSC is an unpredictable prelims exam, but it is not so. If you are following right sources, UPSC prelims is not at all unpredictable. Okay, so kindly follow this resource. This is very, very important. So I'm giving an assignment. Please read more about these cities: Ajmer, Amravati, Amritsar, Gaya, Varanasi, Warangal, Puri, Kanchipuram, Mathura, Velankani, and Dwarka. Dwarka also is news in recent years, guys, you know. Next, you can see here Kashi Vishwanath corridor in Varanasi, then Somnath temple, okay, then Kedarnath, okay, then Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. All these are important sites which you should definitely prepare. Okay. Next, guys, Piproa relics of Lord Buddha has been returned in 2025. So this is also very, very important topic which you can expect a question on that. I was expecting this question this year, but they did not ask it. Next, you can see here we are building an archaeological experiential museum in Vadnagar in Gujarat. Vadnagar is an important historical site, guys. Vadnagar, okay? It is one of the oldest continuously inhabited town in India, Vadnagar. It is in Gujarat. So, you know, guys, okay, historical places, okay, history map questions. Okay, this year there were few history map questions. So next year you can expect a question on that. So Vadnagar you need to prepare. Also, guys, Government of India is building this Yug Yugin Bharatam Museum, okay, which is going to be India's biggest museum as far as conservation of art and culture is concerned. Okay. Next, UNESCO and World Heritage recognition. India's World Heritage sites grew from 31 to 44 in the last 10 years. Okay, under the UNESCO World Heritage Convention 1972, India is a party to this convention. You can see here there are 15 UNESCO intangible cultural heritage elements like yoga, Kumbh Mela, Durga Puja, Garba, and recently Deepavali was added. India hosted 46th UNESCO World Heritage Committee meeting in New Delhi in 2024. It is the first time that India has conducted such session. Next, we have a scheme for women protection and empowerment. You can see here She Box for basically women who need help. Okay, for example, generally, okay, who are getting harassed and all that. Okay, so you can see there is this basically She Box is for operationalizing the Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplaces Act 2013. So under this She Box has been created so women can complain. Okay, so She Box is a very important initiative for women to fight against sexual harassment at workplaces. So the Act 2013 Act, you should have a look at it. Okay, it covers all employees who are women, including contractual, casual, domestic, and unorganized workers also. So sometimes now UPSC will frame questions and they will trap you with this kind of words. So whenever you see all women, so many people what they will mark it incorrect, but here this is correct. Okay, even contractual, casual women, domestic workers, and unorganized workers are also included in it. In this, we have internal complaints committee and we have local complaints committee, which is there in every district. So you should have a look at it. Generally, this local committee is for unorganized sector. So guys, we have a scheme, Mission Shakti. It is under Ministry of Women and Child Development for safety, security, and empowerment of women. Under this Mission Shakti, we have one-stop center and women helpline for women. Okay, so have a look at this Mission Shakti. It is one of the flagship program of Ministry of Women and Child Development for women empowerment, where we are focusing on empowerment of women. You can see Samarthya and Sambal, which is safety of women. So safety of women, we have one-stop center, women helplines, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and Nari Adalats. And for Samarthya, economic empowerment, okay, we have Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana and She Box. Next, iconic bridges in India. You know, guys, this year in 2026 prelims examination, you had a lot of questions coming from infrastructure. So in this article, they have mentioned few bridges in India. You can see bridge over Brahmaputra River in Guwahati, new Saria Ghat Bridge. Okay, then bridge over Chambal River. Here, guys, you can see this National Chambar Gharial Sanctuary, which is located in 3 states. Okay, this sanctuary is located in 3 states. We have in Rajasthan, then we have Madhya Pradesh, okay, and then we have uh, which one? UP. Okay, so please prepare this. Here we find gharials, which is critically endangered. Then we find red crowned roof turtle, and then we find Ganga River dolphins. Okay, so these 3 species which are endangered, and these are found here in one sanctuary. So this is very, very important. So you can see the bridges, you can prepare these bridges, details, you can go through the notes. Fact, there are a lot of facts are involved. Okay, one of the most important bridges here is the Bhupen Hajarika Setu, which basically links Assam with Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Next, coal gasification. You know, guys, government of India is focusing on coal gasification because government wants to secure energy security. So in coal gasification, what happens is that coal is basically transformed into a syngas. Syngas. So syngas can be used for manufacturing of ammonia, nitrate, okay, methanol, etc., etc. So this syngas is a very important concept. Okay, so coal gasification, coal is basically changed into syngas. You know, coal. The problem is what? It is very polluting. It is very polluting. Okay, so when we basically transfer into or transform into syngas, then it can be used freely. Okay, syngas basically has what? It has the carbon monoxide and hydrogen. Okay, so syngas that carbon dioxide and hydrogen, again carbon monoxide. Mainly it is having hydrogen plus carbon monoxide. Some traces of carbon dioxide is also there, but mainly composition is hydrogen and carbon monoxide. So this can be asked, synthetic gas or syngas. This is used for, as I told you, for basically making urea, methyl, alcohol, etc., etc. Next, guys, National Internet Exchange of India. This has completed 23 years. So this is a not-for-profit organization set up under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology for managing India's internet infrastructure. So this is an important body. Next, Ashtalakshmi. You can see here. Here, the Northeast has been covered in detail. This is very important. You know, this year's in the prelims examination, you had 3 questions coming from this theme of Northeast infrastructure. So guys, there is one scheme called PM Divine scheme, which is Prime Minister's development initiative for Northeastern region, where Prime Minister is building the infrastructure in the Northeast. Okay, so this scheme is very, very important. Okay, you should have a look at it. Okay, so you can see here India Myanmar trilateral, India Myanmar Thailand trilateral highway, which is between More to Moisat via Myanmar. So this highway has been asked multiple times in prelims examination before also. I think 2023 and 2026 again. So India, Myanmar, Thailand trilateral highway, which starts from More in Manipur, then Moisat, Thailand via Myanmar. Other we have Kaladan multimodal transit transport, which links Sitwe port in Myanmar to Paletwa, benefiting Tripura. Okay, so from Tripura we connect to Myanmar. Okay, so this is very important. And two checkpost and border hearts also mentioned: Kalam Sagar in Tripura and Polaganj in Meghalaya. Okay, then there are some like bridges which are mentioned. You can see Bogi Bill Bridge, then Dhola Sadia Bridge or Bhupen Hajarika Bridge, and then Noni Bridge. Okay, so Bogi Bill Bridge is in Brahmaputra, Bhupen Hajarika Bill is on Lohit River, and we have Noni Bridge over Alang River. Okay, so these 3 rivers are very important. Please have a look at it. So you can see here some hydropower projects in news. Dibang multi-purpose project and Subansiri lower hydroelectric project. This is also very, very important. Sila tunnel is also very important because it connects Tejpur and Tawang. Sila tunnel. Tunnels can be asked next year in the prelims examination. So Sila tunnel, remember, connecting the Tejpur and Tawang. Then guys, some schemes which is there. Okay. In the northeast, you can go through that. Here you can remember the GI tags, queen pineapple, Lakodung turmeric, king chili, and large cardamom. These are some GI tagged agriculture commodities in Northeast. Also, guys, you should remember two waterways in Northeast. One is National Waterways, okay, 2, which is on Brahmaputra River, and National Waterway 16, which is on Barak River. So, two national waterways you should prepare. Then Nirbhay Chetna. Nirbhay Chetna, this scheme has been rolled out. So, you can see here, this is basically for what? Okay, training of trainers program. Okay, under the Nirbhaya Fund project. Okay, so this is basically for training of elected representatives in panchayats on women's safety and gender equality. So all the elected members of panchayats, they are trained for what? Women's safety from the Nirbhaya Fund, Nirbhaya Chetna. Okay, Nirbhaya Fund, you know, guys, it was created after that Nirbhaya episode for women's safety in India. Okay, so Nirbhay Chetna, okay, this is scheme. It is under the Ministry of Rural Development, and Nirbhaya Fund. It is a non-lapsable fund for women's safety. It is under the Department of Economic Affairs, Ministry of Finance, with proposal reviewed from Empowered Committee of Ministry of Women and Child Development. So guys, these were some of the important topics, but I would like to request every one of you go and read the entire PDF notes and solve the quiz. Okay, so I've just highlighted the important stuff. I've not got in detail because I've already covered this in my notes. Please go through this and take the quiz. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care.